Hi, dear community. How are you? This is a new edition of this wonderful podcast in which we are discussing literary pieces and music, particularly metal pieces. If you're a metal lover and you like literature, consider subscribing to the channel because there's a lot of material you can watch, listen to, and enjoy. So I'm not alone today. Here with me is Lei Maiden, a friend of mine and a colleague. And hello.
Hello, dear community. Well, thank you for inviting me to this talk.
It's a
Participating
pleasure.
here, okay, participating here is truly fascinating.
Thank you so much. So I would like you to talk to us about the thumbnail you prepared for the podcast because it's your doing. The artwork is yours, and so I'd like you to describe it to the audience.
Okay, well, I really wanted to reflect my interpretation of work. The symbolism in this captivating story really resonated with me. In this image, the phantom grips Christine tightly, almost if he's trying to possess her rather than protect her.
Right,
His, yes, his posture speaks more of control than care.
right. Yes, indeed.
In Gaston novel, Eric doesn't just want Christine's love, he craves completely dominance over her. This visual captures that obsessive need conveys through his almost aggressive embrace.
Exactly. I think you got it beautifully right because you can see in the image that she is in a rapture, almost in a trance, as if she didn't have possession of her faculties, right?
Right, Christine's expression is also striking. Her wide eyes and outstretched arms suggest a mix of fear, surprise, and resignation.
Indeed,
She, yeah, she's caught in a complex emotional struggle um, between terror and compassion.
absolutely. So you are beginning to tell us very interesting things about the story because indeed you can take this piece as a novel, which may be very close to a Gothic piece, um, and in which you can have just the depiction of a Gothic monster, so to say. But if we dig a little bit deeper into the telling of the story, we get all of these things you just commented on. So we can take a look at the story from a psychological perspective, say, and think about Christine, the protagonist, as a
Yeah.
woman who has suffered a terrible loss because she had lost her mother at a very early age, and then she lost her father too. And her father was not just a father, but a teacher and a friend to her because they were both music lovers. And he played the violin and she sang. And he was teaching her how to perform the art with love, not just for the sake of work itself or money, but just with love and feeling. The problem is when she loses her father, she seems to be at a loss in every sense. She's completely, I don't know, alone, and she can't find any way of performing her art the best way possible. So I was thinking that this phantom could be a creation of her mind, or it could be a real character. We are not telling the audience how the novel ends because we won't spoil the fun of reading, and the audience should be reading. Um, but I thought that maybe this phantom, being a creation of her own mind, could be a representation of the bad animus, as Jung presents the animus, which would be the masculine side of the mind that helps you take action and use your left hemisphere. It is as if the animus inhabited the left hemisphere and the anima inhabited the right hemisphere, sort of. The problem is when she connects with this animus of hers, if it is the animus, she begins to struggle with a bad animus, meaning this figment of her mind takes everything to extremes. There's no middle position anywhere. So she turns into some sort of a workaholic because she goes underground to work on her art for days on end, and she doesn't see the daylight. She does not connect with other human beings, and she has no social life or anything of the sort. She disappears from the world, which is, I would say, a bit unhealthy. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking about a mental issue. Probably could be schizophrenia. Now, what if it isn't just an hallucination, but a symptom of that mental illness? Often includes auditory hallucinations, delusions, and difficulty distinguish between reality and imagination. Christine hears a voice guiding her, teaching her music, and eventually controlling her. What if that voice was never real?
Mm.
For example, paranoia. She believes the phantom is everywhere, watching her, controlling her fate. Or another symptoms could be disorganized thinking. Sometimes her action seems inconsistent. One moment terrified, the next drawn to the phantom. Dissociation. She loses time, appearing to wake up in strange places. That could be another option.
Yes, indeed, it could be. Now that you mention it, there are many events in her life that could be connected to this. We are not sure if this is so, and there is a lot of speculation as you keep reading the novel. Then we get a final turn, but we are not mentioning what it is. But all of these are options. Now, the other option would be that the phantom is a real person, but he could be, Eric is the name of the phantom, he could be a real person whose personality and abilities go a bit beyond human possibilities, right? Because when we get some information about the things he does, there are a lot of things which could be humanly impossible. So if he is a human being, his abilities are a bit supernatural. That's why he can be called a phantom, because he disappears in the middle of nowhere. He turns up in very weird places. His eyes glow in the dark, and his whole body is cold as a corpse. So we don't know really how human he is, if human at all. And he has
Obviously.
been to many places, to India, to Persia, and now he's in France, and we don't know how long he has lived. So, sorry, yes, you wanted to say something.
Yes, well, I was thinking about the song of Nightwish because in the song I'm referring to Eric, he feels almost supernatural. In this part, he says, "In dreams, he came to me. That voice we calls to me." It sounds like he is an ethereal being, a ghost haunting Christine's mind, as you said before. And the phrase "inside your mind" reinforces that eerie psychological connection.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but in the novel, Christine initially believes he's an angel, the angel of music, sent by her father. Of course, we as reader know the truth. Eric the Phantom is very real in the novel. He uses his incredible voice and mastery of acoustic to make Christine believe in him. And and there is a lot of interesting part in this song. Well, the most important thing I think so is the labyrinth part. In the song, we don't hear much about it, but the lyrics imply secrecy and mystery. Those who have seen your face draw back in fear. It's very interesting that phrase. I think so.
Mm.
Or my power over you grows stronger yet. This make it sound as if the phantom exists everywhere and nowhere at once.
Exactly. And what you're mentioning, the labyrinth or the underground, because remember that in the novel, they are constantly going underground. He lives underground. It is as if he was the master of the underworld, because right under the opera theater, he has almost a city of his own, with a stream included and a lake. So um, this in psychology is connected to the unconscious mind. Every time we have an image of the underground or a connection to the underground, we're talking about the unconscious mind. That's why we talked about a mental illness or the animus before, because there is a very strong connection. And if he really is, just as you said, the master of all that area, then Christine is in deep trouble.
Indeed. Yes, one of the most famous moments happens when Marco Yatala sings Sing My Angel of Music. In the song, the phantom is commanding Christine to sing. It's an order.
Right.
So she's pretty lost if she has a mental issue or if his animus take control over her.
Right. Or even if the man is real, because she is completely at his command. I mean, she's no longer the owner of her own actions. He tells her what to do and when. So if she is in a relationship in which you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, she is in a mixture between compassion and fear. He controls her completely. He forces her to do things beyond her power to the extent in which she ends up exhausted and nearly dead. She feels that after singing, she has no soul anymore. So if it is a true relationship, it's highly toxic. Um, Again, she feels at a loss as to what to do about this relationship or how to cope with this problem of hers. Um, but I think in the song you can tell um, how much of an effort the ladies put into singing. I say the ladies because it was performed by two different singers uh, in the same band. Um, I prefer Tarja, but anyway, you can take your pick. Um, but the way she performs when he's forcing her to sing, you can tell that she's really, really straining her voice to get there where he wants her to be. So it's a wonderful performance. Anyway, I love the song and I love the performance, but you can tell now that I'm a fan.
Yes, well, me too. The song The Phantom of the Opera by Nightwish, inspired by both the book and Weaver's adaptation, which brings a fresh interpretation of the same themes, blending the darker and more intense emotion of the story with a modern symphonic metal sound. Well,
Mhm.
in both these musical renditions, music plays an essential role in translating the deep emotions and complex themes of Leroux' novel into a form that resonates with us on a deeper, almost primal level.
Right, because the rhythm of the song and the very loud sound, we must reinforce here the idea that metal is not for everyone, that metal is a genre that appeals to, as you said, primal forces of the mind and the body. And that's why it is liberating to a certain extent, because we need to get in touch with those primal forces eventually. Smothering them would be very harmful, and it is a very healthy way to explore those areas of the mind and the psyche and the emotions. And this is what happens with art, and music and literature are art in themselves. And the fact that there could be such a strong connection between a novel and metal music is astonishing, isn't it?
Indeed, it's a battle of power, control, and obsession wrapped in a metal symphony, and that's what makes it unforgettable.
Indeed, indeed, absolutely. Well, would you like to tell us anything else, or should we wrap it up?
It's just something easy and kind of funny. No, it's not funny. It's just an anecdote.
Right.
Well, I want to tell an anecdote about Tarja.
Mm-hmm.
She she fears the song. She practices a lot every day because she she really enjoys literature, and her favorite book is The Fountain of the Opera. And when she sings, she almost is fe she's feeling fear of the public because she tries not to fail because of that, her fanatism.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it's even exerting power over the lead singer through
Yes,
time and space. It's so amazing.
yes, indeed.
Okay, so we are going to be wrapping it up now because time is nearly up. But I have really enjoyed this podcast with you, Lei Maiden, and hoping that there will be more. We will be saying bye-bye to the audience. And if you like this podcast, consider subscribing because there are going to be more. And give us a like, please. So bye-bye, Lei Maiden.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye-bye. Thank you.